road results, 5-2-5 on the year, 0-2-3 in the ACC. And we are underway from Dale Soccer Stadium, starting on the app, hoping to join on ACC Network when volleyball comes to a conclusion. So those of you watching on the app, we appreciate you, and we will try and get it turned over to the national TV side of things here in just a couple of moments. Early attack for the Who's on that left side and across towards the box. Number 9 on your screen for the Virginia Cavaliers, none other than Meredith McDermott.
When you get a little bit of a look at Virginia there early on, Aria, that's where Virginia is at their best, when they can move the ball side to side and isolate Maggie Cagle on that left-hand side, let her go to work and be creative in that winger spot.
Touch by number 7, Emeka Kawagashi, the junior from Japan. The Pack going down 4-1 at Virginia Tech on Thursday night. Had that game tied 1-1. And just couldn't find a result there in the back 25 minutes or so of the game. And Virginia, a team that drew against Clemson on the road. Steve Swanson thought that was a pretty good result, 1-1 on Jill Flamia's early goal. State pushing into Virginia side. Virginia team that's given up just 8 goals so far this season. Here's Jamise Joseph, number 15, the senior from Bettsville, Maryland. There's a foul. Pretty good chance coming here for NC State on a set piece, an area that I feel like Tim Santoro would love to capitalize on. Gonna be Kawagishi. A rookie keeper in net for Virginia. Just in her 3rd game, Victoria Safferton in for Kayla White. Towards the net, Safferton punches it down, picks it up.
It's not a bad ball into the box there from Kawagishi, trying to test a freshman goalkeeper making her first start since August, and certainly there just a little bit of a spill from Safferton. Look for her to build into this game though and see if she can get some early touches, build that confidence.
Poor ball, turnover into the box. Safferton though quickly off her line, read it well. Yabich. Center back tandem of McCormick and Stouty. As good as you'll find in the ACC. They've given up just 8 goals on the year, has that Virginia back line. Touch, turning, switching the point of attack. Throw in coming. here for Virginia. Orange tops, white bottoms. Here on the road, NC State, those white tops with the red bottoms. Chisholm clears it away. On the wing, Soto from that left back spot. Pretty good ball up ahead to Joseph. Dangerous. Jamise Joseph under her left foot. She fires it in, finds the net. Off Saffordin, a goal for NC State at home. Jamise Joseph strikes. Appreciate it. Those of you who are joining us, you just missed a goal seconds ago from Jamise Joseph. Patty, a big start for NC State.
Well, a huge start, and seemingly out of nowhere, this is what Jamise Joseph is capable of. Just a little bit of sauce in the box, a good ball across, and then Samar Guidry in the wrong place at the wrong time to put it into her own net. This is a massive goal for the Wolfpack here, just 5 minutes into the game.
Wow, Jamise Joseph. And you see hands on the head of Samar Guidry. A new keeper in for Virginia here this afternoon. It's Victoria Saffordin, the 5'10 freshman, one of the top recruits in the country, in for Kayla White. And Jamise Joseph just put it on frame, and the rest happened in her favor, right? That's a big goal for NC State and Jamise Joseph specifically. Defensive back half, Patty Foss, Aria Masudi, all of us here at Dale Soccer Stadium. An important matchup between Virginia and NC State. Two teams looking for their first win in ACC play. A little under a month left in the regular season as we continue to barrel towards the ACC tournament in Cary. And Patty, Steve Swanson mentioned it to us. He said, look, we know what's happening. We're aware of the situation. A win against the Pack would be really big for us as we try and make this push in the final month.
Well, I think, make no buts about it, this is a must-win for both teams playing here today. Of those, though, Virginia in desperate need of a win on the road against a struggling Pack team. Both teams, you see a hard collision there on the left side with Samar Guidry.
Early in the game, her third goal of the year. Tim Santoro has told us at different times throughout this 2023 campaign, Jamise Joseph is the key to our team. When she plays well, our offense is a little bit different, our attack is more dynamic, and when she hasn't played well, we have struggled to find results. And you've seen that, a team that struggles, right, Patty, to put the ball in the back of the net. That's just the 13th goal of the year for the Pack. And Jamise Joseph, who scored 8 of them last year, they got to get her going here in this final month of the regular season.
Well, no question. Jamise Joseph's one of the most dynamic players in the conference, if not the nation. She struggled through the first half of ACC play and the non-conference. She struggled to find the back of the net, and she struggled to create in the way that Tim Santoro and this NC State team knows she can. That being said, a huge start early on, maybe a little home scoring to give her the goal on that one. I'm not sure if that's not an own goal, but nonetheless, Jamise Joseph's creating in the box. Good things happen, and NC State's rewarded for it early on.
And Patty, a Virginia team that has battled injuries all year, right? You lose Aaliyah Godfrey, who is one of the best players in the country, but Maggie Cagle, who was one of the best freshmen last season, has had an incredible campaign trying to pick up the load.
Well, she's had a huge weight on her shoulders, that's for sure. And you note Leah Godfrey going out with a preseason injury, what many thought would be the ACC midfielder of the year, yet again, a first-team All-American, and someone who that man, Steve Swanson, has built this program around the last 3 years. That's now fallen to Maggie Cagle. She's picked up that load, but it's a massive weight, and one that Maggie Cagle has to build on if Virginia's going to have a strong second half of the ACC slate and perhaps a tournament run.
No doubt. Cagle, preseason All-ACC team, third team a year ago, All-ACC freshman in her rookie campaign. Dynamic from Phoenix, Arizona. You don't just lose Aaliyah Godfrey and respond. You lose Haley Hopkins to the NWSL draft. Players that were linchpins almost for Steve Swanson a season ago. That Virginia offense as good as you'll find in college soccer. Dynamic, potent. Cagle's going to have to be important here in these final 4 or 5 games. There have been others too, Patty. Meredith McDermott has tried 6 goals on the year. There have been players that have stepped up. It just hasn't come in the right time for much of the season for Virginia. They haven't been able to string together that potent offense that you've seen in years past, right? I mean, they came at you in waves when they were fully healthy.
Well, that's right. And listen, this is a really dynamic, talented front 5 really for Virginia. Not only talk about Cagle, McDermott, but Una McCormack and Jill Flamia in those attacking midfield positions have been so good and so dynamic. That being said, you're looking at a front 5 of completely freshmen and sophomores, and so just haven't found themselves with that much experience in the ACC especially, and that's something that fortunately for years to come, Steve Swanson is getting a young team experience. Unfortunately for 2023, they haven't found results in the opening 5 games of the conference, and they're finding themselves yet again down 1-0 to a team in which they need a result.
A turnover in the defensive half. See if Virginia can capitalize here. Down 1, ball trickled away, corner coming for the Cavaliers. So an opportunity now on a set piece. Patty, to your point exactly, right? 20 goals, first 6 games. Non-conference play was going pretty well for the Cavaliers, but ACC play has been tough for them, especially putting the ball in the net.
Well, that's right, and the ACC is a different level. We know that year in and year out. That being said, the non-conference, this was an offense that was clicking on all cylinders and completely has fallen off the map, so have to get going in a hurry here.
On the corner kick at the 6, headed off the line there. That was Leah Hall-Robinson, the veteran. Now NC State in transition. Jamise Joseph can fly. He's got a runner coming on the middle of your screen. Numbers into the attack. Tried to put it forward. How about the early intensity wave from the pack here playing at home?
Well, they've clearly come out with a game plan. That game plan was to sit in a little deeper, allow the game to come to you if you're NC State, and then hit Virginia on the counter through that woman, Jamise Joseph, through players like Lexi Strickland, Hannah Gerbill, and see if you can get at Virginia quickly. They did that with a purpose early on, and they were rewarded with that counterattack. More of that is a good sign for Tim Santoro, especially playing in front with this lead.
That goal, by the way, was the first half goal that Virginia has given up all season. Shout out to Dan Ferran, our great stats man. Now a foul. And Virginia pressing early on. NC State has come out taking it to this Cavaliers team.
Well, and knowing how young this Virginia team is so important that they settle in. There's a lot of soccer left to be played here. 80 minutes left in Raleigh, and so you can't get too frenetic too fast because Virginia's a team that likes to play through possession. See just a flick over the top there, looking for a goal. Another good ball into the box there from Kawagishi, but finish that point. Virginia's a team that loves to play through possession. Rhythm is everything, and so that early goal, you can't let it throw it off. You can't let it throw you off your rhythm. You got to play your game and see if you can climb back into this one.
And again, you do have Victoria Safford, one of the top recruits in the country coming in, just playing in her 3rd game, 2nd start. The veteran Kayla White was told it was just rotational, not an injury to Kayla. Kawagishi falls outside of the box. On the cross, that's a really good ball in. It's 2-0. NC State strikes yet again. Annika Woder doubles the home side's lead.
This is just a good reset in the end. This is a fantastic ball into the box from Hannah Gerbill. Just picture perfect finish there from Annika Woder to double this NC State lead. Nothing Victoria Safford can do about that one. And Virginia in a 2-0 hole early on. Trouble in Raleigh.
Third goal of the season for Warner. How clean was that finish on the volley?
Well, and just a world-class ball into the box there from Hannah Jabril, and an equal finish from Annika Warner. Fantastic from the junior to double the lead here. A dream start for the Pack.
Producer Josh Monk letting me know just the second time all year Virginia's given up multiple goals in a game. We're not even 12 minutes in. Cavs need a response, and fast. Adversity has struck in all season for the Hoos. They're facing it in these first few minutes in Raleigh, on the road, away from home. Rely on Alexis Theoret. Number 3 there on your screen, Steve Swanson. Calmly observing from the bench. Nearly a giveaway. Patty, you won a national title back in 2014. You've played at this level. What is the communication like right now between players as you get down early like this?
Well, it's got to come from your veteran leaders, and you start looking around. That has to be the center backs, Talia Stouty and Lacey McCormick, because those are the players that have been here. Listen, you didn't expect to roll into Raleigh and go down early, let alone 2 goals. The players are very aware of the fact that they need a result here. There's a lot of time left in this game, though, so can you settle down a very young attacking unit, see if you can climb your way back into this game, perhaps get a goal here in the first half, and then reset. Again, a ton of time yet to be played, but if you start to lose your wits early on, you could easily go down 3, and then this one's wrapped up before it even starts.
It feels like a test of composure, at least early on, that these NC State Wolfpack have presented the Cavs. Who's team that had been playing better, right, Patty? A couple of draws against 2 top 20 opponents, Duke, Clemson. Clemson coming on the road. They felt like they were inching towards being the best version of what they could be this season, given the injuries. Just a step back early. Like you said, though, plenty of time. Giveaway there. That's not going to get the job done.
Lacey, don't let her run through. Game 1. Talia, right shoulder.
Paul Robinson dropping it all the way back.
What I think as concerning as giving up 2 early goals to NC State is to Steve Swanson and his staff. What's going on right now might be equally as concerning. NC State has really settled into this game and pushed Virginia back, and that is not the story that we were expecting. You thought Virginia would have the ball, and quite frankly, through 15 minutes, they just don't.
Do you look to Theoret, Flamia, McCormack to try and start winning balls in the midfield to try and settle this game back down?
I think so, but I think as much as winning the ball is important, keeping it is even more important for Virginia, and that's really what we haven't seen. They haven't gotten into a rhythm in which they're combining through those NC State lines and getting at the Wolfpack. Little things like this, a tricky bounce for Maggie Cagle, and it bounces off her arms. Just seems like everything going against Virginia here to start, and certainly some tactical changes need to be made.
Another set piece coming here for NC State. Got a Wolfpack team that hasn't won at home this season. Does have 3 draws. Really good ball again. Rising high to meet it was Warner.
Well, a tremendous ball into the box again from Kawagishi, and then 2 players unmarked on the back post. Not only Annika Wohner, but Taylor Chisholm just behind her. Just unacceptable marking there from Virginia, and a fantastic opportunity to make it 3 for Annika Wohner.
Did you catch Chisholm on the back end of that? On the far left side, she almost looked at Wohner as if to say, oh, what are you doing? I had a clean header for the goal.
I think there's not a lot of times you'll find 2 wide open chances there in the 6-yard box, and so if Wohner's eyes get a little big, you can't really blame her for that one.
That one to the attack. This is better from Virginia. Flamia into the width, played into the space. Ross, an outstanding freshman on the cross. Hall Robinson up for the challenge. NC State trying to flip the field in transition. I want to remind you that coming up next, we cap the afternoon with #1 North Carolina and #22 Duke in Durham right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Oh, Patty, that's going to be a good one. Always fun when those two meet.
Well, Tobacco Road action. Who you liking that one, are you?
Carolina's tough. They are playing at a high level, but you know what? Patty, you can't count people out in rivalries. It's just a different intensity level, as you were well aware.
Robbie Church's Blue Devils certainly are impressive, and I think they might have the juice to slow down that Carolina attack. We'll see if Kat Ryder might be able to sneak a goal for the Blue Devils, but it should be a fantastic one coming up after ours.
Did you know Carolina's never lost to Duke in Durham? That blows my mind.
That's pretty impressive.
Last season ACC tournament goes to penalty kicks, 7-6. It was like no one was missing. Unbelievable.
Koskinen is not an easy place to play, no question about it.
Two of the great coaches in our game, Anson Dorans, Robbie Church. 2 wildly different personalities. We're happy to be the appetizer for that one. NC State has looked hungry from the beginning. Came out of the gates swinging, so to speak. 2 goals early. They have stunned Virginia, who was trying to grow back into the match. Ball placed forward, coming off the line. Quickly able to get there. See the parallels between goals. The Pack have struggled offensively really all season long, especially in ACC play, but today, first 15 minutes, found the ball in the net twice.
And really just executing their game plan to perfection early on. 2 goals in 12 minutes, but breaking quickly, getting at Virginia, causing problems, and really have had 4 chances here in the opening 20 minutes to put one in the back of the net. Been good to put 2 in the back of the net, but Virginia's got to change the way that they're going about this game, because NC State on the counter has looked so good.
It's an NC State team that was being outscored coming in 11-3 in the first half. They were getting pounced on. So a role reversal of sorts here.
But it's definitely something to watch here, especially as this first half goes along, Aria, and it's that Olivia Protapas in that NC State goal has really struggled since she's been inserted into this Wolfpack team with Maria Echezarreta going out. Virginia, though, hasn't been able to test her yet.
Maybe a chance here, edge of the 18. Flamia tried the one-timer. Cavs stay with it. Ross with the left foot took a deflection. Protapas has it in for the injured Maria Echezarreta, who's been lost for the season. She's been tested all year long. Second in the ACC in saves per game. The Clemens, North Carolina native. We talked about injuries right to Virginia, and NC State's been battling their own. Lost Jaden Thomas before the season started. Maria Echezarreta, their keeper, out. It hasn't been easy for Tim Santoro's side too. And we can't mention Virginia's success without mentioning that NC State's been a program that has done well in the ACC and on the national stage themselves under Coach Santoro. 3 NCAA Sweet 16s. Now they're calling them the 3rd round.
Well, no question about it. NC State is a contender in this league and should be a tournament team year in and year out, if you ask Tim Santoro. That being said, this has been a hugely disappointing fall thus far, but they have the pieces to be a really solid squad. I mean, you talk about Jamise Joseph, Lexi Strickland, and then we've already seen what Annika Woner is capable of, and so a little bit of a head scratcher to see them sitting at 1 win on the year. This is the NC State team through 20 minutes that we really thought we were going to get all fall.
Top Drawer Soccer had NC State ranked as a top 15 overall program. And current strength. It's a great place to come play. Their fans pack it. 11th in the country so far this season in cumulative attendance. They packed it out against Carolina, against Michigan State. They have a really good atmosphere at Dale Soccer Stadium.
No corner, no corner.
Goal kick coming. Nearly 4K against Carolina earlier this season. Unfortunately, the results did not go the way the Pack wanted it to. Carolina won 4-0.
Yeah, although you have to say that NC State was pretty good in that game, especially in the first half. That maybe a little bit of a more lopsided scoreline than the game actually was, because it was a very competitive first half, and NC State looked apart for large portions of that 90.
Collier. Knocked back. I want to remind you, Friday's ACC PM with Mark Packer and Taylor Tannenbaum will come to you from Durham, North Carolina as they prep for college football Saturday, highlighted by NC State and Duke. It starts at 4 Eastern. Here's the German Annika Woner.
Nothing deeper than the 18. It's a free kick, nothing deeper than the 18.
Talia Stouty, number 20. He's senior. Alu on the drop and blasted ahead. Virginia 11th in the ACC standings, was picked preseason 3rd. Again, the injuries have taken their toll. Pretty good ball. Hit forward into space on the flank. Running on was Alexis Strickland, the senior from Raleigh, hometown girl. Any subs coming in, dropped from the bug, Sarah Bruner. Maya Carter as well for Virginia. McDermott will take a seat. 19 and a half left to play in this opening stanza. First half play. Just flipped onto us. 2 goals for NC State early, first 15 minutes. Jamise Joseph, Annika Woner. They lead in shots 4-2.
Let's go. Yeah, shoot.
Down that left side. Throw incoming for Virginia.
That's the corner. Let's go. Set it up.
Set piece coming here for Virginia. You have to think the Cavaliers need to take their time, do this right. They haven't been able to create any real good chances through the run of play. When the set piece presents itself, can you put this one right on Protapas and see if you can make a chance out of it?
You're up. It's in.
Second corner for Virginia this afternoon.
Stay on the post. Over.
In swinging ball. That's good. Really good. Whistle. Is it a foul going the other way? Indeed. There's Nicole Green. Head official for today's match. Pretty notable. She was the first ever female ref assigned to an ACC men's soccer game by the Atlantic Coast Conference. Quick whistle, going the other way, Virginia with a chance to reset. "25 straight NCAA tournaments for Steve Swanson. That streak in jeopardy here this season. You got time to make up ground. RPI in the 60s. We've seen that precedence before. Teams have made it into the NCAA tournament with that type of RPI, but you got to get going here in this month of October. Direct ball into the box, cleared away. Now another foul.
Just a little clumsy there from Leah Hall-Robinson. Maggie Cagle with her back to goal. You can't give up a free kick in a really dangerous spot there. Just not a good option there for Leah Hall-Robinson, but for Virginia, this is a really good spot for a free kick and one that you just want to drop in front of that 6-yard box. Make Olivia Protapas make a decision, see if you can get an orange shirt on the head.
Theoret drops back. 5th foul on NC State. 11 total between the two so far in this first half. Protapas gets set. Righty in swinging ball. That's a really good ball. Just missed the head of an on-charging Talia Stouty, the captain.
And this is about as good of a ball as you can have from that spot. Just a fantastic service from Theoret. Stouty in a good spot, but it's just a little bump at the end there to put her off and not allow the 5th year to get her head on Annika Wohner in her own box. A really good defensive play not to allow the chance on frame.
Stouty top 5 in Virginia history in games played, games started, minutes. Almost 8,500 minutes logged on those legs in her career at Virginia. Have a hit, why don't you? That was Maya Carter.
And I'm not sure that's the right decision there if you're Maya Carter down 2-0, 15 minutes left to play in a game that you got to climb your way back into it. I don't know that the first time effort from 40 yards is what Steve Swanson's looking for.
Collier on the touch. The freshman. Plays it up into the path. On the touch. Shot. Gonna drift wide. That was Flamia. Even Jill Flamia has missed some time this season due to injury. Did have that goal against Clemson on Thursday night. Ended up being enough to earn the draw. 1-1 at historic Riggs Field. A top 100 player was Flamia, according to Top Drawer Soccer coming into the year. If you're just joining us, this is how we've gotten to 2-0. Early on, Jamise Joseph Patty puts it on frame and good things happen.
Well, that's right. Jamise Joseph is the lifeblood of this attack for NC State. She got it going, but then a really good ball into the box from Hannah Gerbro finds an running Annika Woner with a world-class finish to double the lead and put NC State in a really good spot early in this first half.
2 goals for NC State. An offense that had struggled. See Samar Guidry in for Chloe Appage. A Virginia team that had started most games strong, at least in the first half. Carter switching the point of attack. Interesting ball into the box. Protopis out to retrieve. Talk about how good this Virginia team has been over the years. 16 wins a year ago. 18 and 21. 14 of them in the COVID year in 2020, making it to the College Cup that season. Patty, you and I were marveling at just the consistency of this Virginia program. I mean, how many Sweet 16s have they made? It feels like it's almost a birthright. You're going to get a couple of wins in NCAA tournament under Steve Swanson.
Well, he's just consistent. Not only what Steve Swanson can do, is you see a good touch there to get Flamia into space.
Keep your feet. Keep your feet.
Pretty good ball. Penalty spot. This is the chance Virginia was looking for, but it's right to Protopis.
It's been a much better stretch here from Virginia in this last 10 minutes, getting into that NC State attack and building around the box. There you see Sarah Bruner, who's really been additive to this attack here, just going down that right-hand side, pulls it back to that left. A good ball across to find Maya Carter. Ultimately, Carter not testing Protopis straight at the goalkeeper, but a better stretch of play, and finally a good chance for the Cavaliers.
Second shot on goal registered too, Patty, for Virginia. Maybe they're inching closer. You got 11 minutes before the half to cut this lead in half. Good ball. One shot for Virginia in the first 20 minutes of the game, 4 since. Still threatening. Asking for a handball. Are they going to get it? No. Play on. Boy, that did look like it caught a wing, didn't it?
Oh, I think so, but Maggie Cagle back down this wing.
Cagle, really good cut, blow by. On the end line, it's deflected, corner coming for Virginia. Let's take a look at it again.
Maggie Cagle does so well, just running at Leah Hall. Robinson pulls it to her right. And that left hand is extended, blocking a shot. That is a no doubt penalty kick, not given by referee Nicole Green. And by the way, not reviewable because she did not make the call on the field. She can't go back to VAR to review it, and really a break for NC State.
They'll have to settle for their third corner. Towards that 6. Headed down. And it will go for a goal kick.
Ball, please. Hey! Bro, I'm on a drive card.
Gotcha. That's all right. We leave it right there. Thank you.
Over in Pittsburgh, 3-1. The Panthers all over Wake Forest in the second half.
Oh, that Pitt attack is just so dynamic. You see Samaya Fury with her 6th of the year to put Pitt up 3-1. Already Shapansky finding her league-leading 9th. So Randy Waldrum at Pitt, that's a team you really want to look out for as we head into the postseason.
A team that made a Sweet 16 last year. They've got dreams of even more. Collier, good cut back, turning it into space. Virginia going to use the width. Running on the turn. Flamia. Still Flamia. Now Central, and drop back into the midfield. This is good from Virginia. The Who's connecting some passes. Collier, the freshman.
Keep your feet.
NC State comfortable in that defensive shape, trying to keep the ball in front of them.
Come on, out.
Oh, Robinson off the body. Boots it ahead. Long ball up ahead. Our Week 7 ACC Network Saturday College Football lineup. Virginia Tech hosting Wake Forest at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg at 3:30 Eastern. And then at 8, the day is capped off by our ACCN primetime matchup. 19th ranked Duke hosts Peyton Wilson and NC State in Durham. Well, Peyton Wilson, really good linebacker, won the Butkus National Linebacker of the Month Award. 10 to play here. NC State beat Marshall last night, last afternoon. Marshall team that was looking for another ACC victory on the season. Virginia team that got its first win of the year, knocking off William & Mary, come from behind fashion. Tony Elliott on the board in 2023. Now the Cavaliers out of the back. Stouty. Guidry. Looking for a teammate, finds a teammate. Cagle. She's had a few moments with the ball at her feet in this first half. No doubt in the second half, Steve Swanson's going to want to get her even more involved. 2 early goals for NC State. The difference is so far 7 minutes to play here in that first. Well, throw-in coming for NC State. Guidry tried to sell it.
This is a really important 6.5 minutes here for NC State, especially just to get this game to halftime with that 2-0 lead. Virginia's starting to look a little bit better in possession, especially Jill Flamia finding some of those pockets in midfield. If you're Tim Santoro on this Pack team, can they just see this game out into halftime and reset going into the second half?
Cagle out. Take a breather. Hagen Miller. Joseph's going to take a breather as well. NC State's got 2 running on. Oh, had to do well. Clear it away. It'll be a throw for the Pack. Cormick.
Get behind you, Jill. Johnny. Help her. Get the corner, Honey. Touch her.
Trying to play out of the pressure. Push NC State back a little bit on the pitch. They do that so well. Comfortable. Into that space, Leah Hall Robinson physically wins a 1v1.
That's really good defensive work from Leah Hall Robinson, not allowing Bruner to get on the end of that one and push into their own end.
Let's go to stop!
Collier on the other side. Well, gets that one all wrong with the left foot. Hall Robinson, the Bowie, Maryland native, Started her career as a striker for this NC State program. Has settled in at that right back position.
Just such a physical presence and the athleticism off the chart for Leah Hall Robinson. She's done so well in that spot against the likes of, Maggie Cagle, Sarah Bruner, and just going pace for pace, not allowing chances.
This is good. Miller needed a little bit better on that final ball.
Right, sheep boy.
5'9" junior from Boulder, Colorado.
Up your foot there. Die!
Pittsburgh has added a 4th goal against Wake. Tough week for Wake Forest. Drawing on the road at Syracuse. In line for a loss with crunching tackle. Corner. Virginia, another set piece.
You can drop one right here. Thank you.
That's a really well-timed tackle here. Just coming through and not allowing Bruner again. That's just Mary Frances Sims there on the tackle. Bruner has been a real addition to this attacking unit and asking questions of that NC State team down the line.
It'll be Thea Red from the flag. Popped into the air. Protopis watches it drift to the right. Stouty. Track back to her defensive spot at center back. Warner will take a seat as Kim comes in. Two and a half to play in this first half. Patty, what do you make of it so far for both sides?
Well, NC State came out and blitzed that man, Steve Swanson, and this Virginia Cavaliers the opening 12 minutes. Just a sucker punch to the mouth to go up 2-0, and Virginia hasn't really had the answers to make their way back into this game. We've seen a better attack in the last 20 minutes for Virginia, certainly starting to find the ball in that NC State half, but really haven't found a quality chance in and around the box, and so halftime's going to have to be a reset for Steve Swanson and Virginia Cavaliers. You might see them come out in a different formation because they have got to ask questions, push the agenda, and see if they can climb their way back into this one and back into the postseason.
Took a deflection. Should be another corner coming for Virginia. Indeed it is. It'll be the 5th of the half. You talk about brewing into the match, Patty. 5 shots for Virginia since that opening 20 minutes. NC State hasn't recorded one yet in those final 25 minutes or so. Maybe the momentum changing, but Virginia's going to have to capitalize with the goal. In the box. Still loose. Pat clears. Minute 5 seconds left in the half. Maybe time for one final push for Virginia. Stouty. Direct ball. There was no runner. Now NC State can sit on it. Hope to have that man right before NC State heads into the locker room to get his thoughts on the game. But so far, so good if you're the Pack. 2 goals, opening 15 minutes. Jamise Joseph, Annika Woner, 2 of your best players. They have come through for you if you're the Pack. Virginia looking for answers. It was better as the game went along, but you got 45 minutes to go. All right, Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you. Underway in the second half. Patty, you heard from Coach himself. They're going to change some things tactically, play a little bit more direct. What do you want to see from the Who's these final 45 minutes?
Well, I think as much as you can talk about tactics and trying to break down NC State and doing different things from the sideline, ultimately it's the 11 women on the field that are going to dictate this game. And if you want to play in the postseason and you want to try to win championships,
Near shot.
Almost another
that almost was a bad
goal
start.
there. But you talk about a team that has aspirations and a program like Virginia that year in, year out is in title contention. Now you have a young Virginia team, and as much as you can tell them and teach them and set them up to succeed, you're going to need some fire out of the players on the field, and so that's what I would look for from Virginia. Are they interested in climbing back into this game, and are they willing to put the work in to see if you can get a result in a really tough place to play at Dale Soccer Complex?
It was Taylor Chisholm on the shot. As we take a look at it yet again, almost a disastrous start for Virginia. Chisholm got a clean look. Saffordin, though, positioned correctly. Get the sense, Patty, if you high press this NC State team, they've been good enough in the midfield to break that pressure, and then you let a Jamise Joseph run with space. That might not be a opportune recipe for a success.
Well, certainly Jamise Joseph running at anyone is not a good recipe for success, but you're seeing early on here from Virginia that tactical change from Steve Swanson that he notes. We saw them open up in the 4-3-3, no doubt about it, in a 3-5-2 here to start the second half, and already getting the ball wide and looking for service into the box. That one just over the head of Olivia Protopis.
Yeah, pretty good ball put on frame there by Bruner.
And Bruner was one of the bright spots in that first half for Virginia. She asked questions down the right-hand side. She got into good spots, and she was active in putting balls into the box. If that's what Steve Swanson's looking for, not a surprise to see her line up on the right-hand side in that wing-back spot to start the second 45.
Shot by Chisholm right out of the gate here in the second half for NC State. It was their first shot on frame, first shot overall in over 30 minutes since that early portion of the first half. Corner coming for Virginia yet again.
Here we go, White Wings. Guys, we gotta watch the girls. We have to watch the girls.
Cagle will look to be instrumental in this second half. Protopis trying to communicate. He's had some shaky moments in net for NC State this season. Playing for Maria Echezarreta, who is done for the year. Towards that 6, ball down, Stouty got a head on it. Was it deflected anywhere else? Was not. Goal kick coming. Talked about the top of the standings, right, Patty, and what those big 3 or 4 teams need to get the #1 seed. But how about at the bottom? Only 6 teams make it. It is logjam there for 5 and 6.
No doubt about it. And you think after today, only 4 matches to be played in the ACC. And so if either one of these squads, Virginia or NC State, doesn't come away with 3 points, they're almost mathematically out of the equation. So it's just so much to play for here in the final 40 minutes, especially for that man, Steve Swanson, a team in Virginia who has aspirations of playing deep in November and possibly December.
So including today's game, you've got 15 total points left there to be taken. Obviously, if you get all 15, that is more than enough to make the tournament. It might even push for a bye. However, you're down 2 goals. If you're Virginia, a win necessary, a draw. I think you're desperate for any kind of points. Same for NC State, who's not completely out of it mathematically at all by any means. Toro fired up about something. Virginia Tech Clemson just underway as well. Important matches in the ACC here in the month of October. On the turn, dispossessed, but Virginia again squeezing this side of the field. Their counter press pretty good. Into space. On the flank. Heavy ball. The Cavs stay with it. They cannot clear it away. Joseph brings it down with a right knee. Swarmed by a pair of Virginia defenders. But Virginia stays with it. There's a handball. Set piece coming for Virginia. Kawagishi. Patty, there are waves of white jerseys around every one of these Virginia players. You can tell NC State, especially as this match grows on, they're going to try and hold on to that 2-goal lead if they can.
No question, NC State's just going to drop deeper and deeper. And while I appreciate what Steve Swanson told us and that there's a lot of time, Virginia needs 3 goals. So there's not that much time. And so you got to think Virginia going to start to be more and more direct, especially in set pieces like this. Can you fabricate a goal and climb your way back into the game?
Important set piece. Good ball popped into the air. Oh, over the net. That was a moment that Virginia needed. And it was Yapich. A really good ball and a clean header. She had the space, Patty.
Another good ball here from Alexis Theoret, and Olivia Protopis in no man's land trying to come out and catch this one. If Chloe Yapich can just get a little bit more on top of that ball, it's a 1-goal lead, and we got game on here in Raleigh.
How good was that service? Wow.
You got to say, all day though, Alexis Theoret has put in really good service on the set pieces. Virginia just has just been inches away. We've seen a few times Talia Stouty on the back of those, and then now Chloe Yapich. So set pieces have been really, really strong for Virginia. Just haven't been able to capitalize.
Switching the point of attack on the cross. Bruner. Mackey. Quickly want to remind you, Florida State, second-ranked Seminoles hosting the 11th-ranked Notre Dame Irish this Thursday in Tallahassee. It's right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Patty, Florida State, Notre Dame combined for 13 goals today. There's going to be fireworks on Thursday night in the capital city of the Sunshine State.
I would think so. We kind of glossed over that one at halftime a little bit, but Nate Norman and Notre Dame has been one of the surprises of the year. I mean, you're talking about a team 5-0-1 in the conference now that's going to play a Florida State team that's 5-0-1 in the conference, so that should be a huge matchup and a really entertaining one with 2 attacking teams going at one another.
Virginia going at this NC State backline in the second half. They've upped the ante. They've upped the pressure. Yapich. Carter. Whistle. The flag go up. It did indeed. Carter, the sophomore from Troy, Michigan, has 1 goal on the year. It came non-conference play against Radford. Her season high is 55 minutes against Duke. It's a young Virginia team. 19 of those 23 goals coming from freshmen or sophomores for this Who's squad. And Steve Swanson, again, he said he's not really worried about the future of Virginia. There's a streak that needs to live on for the NCAA tournaments, but the years to come are still bright for the Cavs. That attack. Final third. Corner. One more coming. Oh, number 7 for Virginia.
Hey, set it up.
Hey, stop, guys. Come on. Here we go. Wait, here we go.
Stay on the post.
Energy. Okay, you're good. Here we go, Liv. Yep.
Virginia, number 3.
We just sit here, guys. We gotta get this way.
Maybe Thea Red. She's had good balls all afternoon. 7th corner coming. Virginia averages a little over 6 a game on the season. Pretty good ball. Oh, shot just goes over the crossbar.
It's a good idea here, training ground exercise for Virginia. Just picking out Jill Flamia at the top of the box. Can't quite get her body over that and put that one on frame, but yet again, a really good opportunity for Virginia on a set piece.
Theorette, the veteran, her 76th game in the Virginia uniform. She has played 90 minutes in 6 consecutive games. Well on her way to a 7th.
Watch the slit.
Here comes Virginia again in the orange uniforms. Pretty good ball on the turn. Shot there right into the breadbasket of Protopis.
This is really well worked from Virginia, just getting the ball wide to Chloe Yapich. She does so well, cutting inside with the slip to open that one up. But Virginia starting to find their way in the attacking third and starting to play in between the NC State lines and be creative in and around the box. That time falls to Maggie Cagle and another shot straight at Olivia Protopis. But you got to like what you're seeing if you're Steve Swanson and getting the ball to that woman Maggie Cagle's feet and let her go to work.
Special talent. Feet of Cagle, the sophomore. You do almost get a sense that as NC State starts to drop deeper and deeper, if this game does grow on, you're going to need a special moment from Virginia individually. Easy play there.
Well, at times through the first 13, 14 minutes of this second half, we've seen NC State drop 10, 11 players behind the ball in their own defensive third, so they're really baiting Virginia into saying you're going to have to break us down and you're going to have to do it around a lot of white shirts if you're going to be able to climb back into this game.
Keep your feet. Stop. Back again.
Right-footed cross.
Right side.
Goal kick. Didn't take a touch.
Number 21.
Francis Sims in for Walner. And Meredith McDermott, 6 goals on the year for Virginia. Number 9, she's into the match.
Number 8, number 9, Meredith McDermott.
You gotta be deeper.
Just shoot. Left arm. Good.
Ross in for Bruner as well for the Who's. Throw in coming for NC State. Maybe Virginia can lock them down in their own half. Leah Hall Robinson has played a phenomenal contest so far. This is where NC State can be dangerous. If you look for Jamise Joseph, there she is. 15 on her back. Numbers getting back, though, for Virginia. Alu, Joseph trying to create space. Cut off there by Guidry.
just an example there of what Tim Santoro was telling us as we headed into halftime, that he thought there was going to be more opportunities for NC State to get out in transition and get the ball to Jamise Joseph and allow her to hit Virginia on that counterattack. You get a little bit of a sense of it there.
Joseph, two-time all-conference player in her career at NC State.
My bad, Taylor.
Robinson cut off, throw-in though coming.
Second ball. For the runner in line.
Kawagishi. Drops him back. It was Chisholm on the first touch.
That's fine, Green. That's fine, Green. Nobody was going to be on.
Guidry playing left back. Mackey. Virginia has battled a ton of adversity this season. No Emma Dawson, a captain. No Leah Godfrey. Lainey Rouse, one of the best defenders in the ACC. She's lost for the season. Alexa Sponstra, Haley Hopkins moved on to their professional careers. Hasn't been easy for Steve Swanson. He told us both, Patty, he said, we're not making excuses. We're trying not to think about it. We're going to be who we are and what we've built here. It's go time. Almost a good individual run for Flamia. She was cut off. Virginia trying to cut through a wave of white. Service inside the 6. Kawagishi. Pack trying to release some pressure. How about the composure? Hall Robinson. Kawagishi tried to pick out Joseph. Again, Virginia going to build.
See the sweat! See the sweat! Taylor, the sweat! I got it. Keep your feet.
Cross. Picks out a player. Game on. What a header. A lifeline for the Who's. Allie Ross gets the Cavs right back into the match.
And this is what Steve Swanson was talking about when we talked to him at the beginning of the second half. He said, we've got to get the ball wide. We got to stretch this field, and we have to allow our stars to go to work. That's exactly what happens here. Maggie Cagle with just a picture-perfect ball across the 6-yard box, attacked by the freshman Allie Ross. A great diving header back across the goal. Nothing Olivia Protopis can do. The Pack's lead just cut in half in an instant, and game on here in Raleigh.
Virginia, a top 5 recruiting class coming into the season. Allie Ross, a big part of that, her 5th goal of the year. And that UVA team, Patty, they were looking for a moment of life. They were looking for some hope and optimism. They have found it, and plenty time left now, 26 and a half, to try and get level and maybe take the lead.
Well, that's right, and they found it at really the perfect time. I mean, because Steve Swanson and his staff had to be thinking, we need one if we're going to be able to make a push down the stretch here. They got that goal, and they do have plenty of time now, 26 and change, not only to perhaps find one goal and equalize, but this is a Virginia team that is in desperate need of 3 points, and so they will push the agenda and try to find 2 more and see if they can take points on the road.
Patty, it's a Virginia offense that if you look since 2011, the last 12 years, they lead the country in the number of goals. It is a prolific attack. that started off hot in non-conference play but has cooled off in ACC action. They do get a goal there. Maybe that is the spark they needed.
And they have not played poorly, really, since that first 15 minutes. They've knocked the ball around. Good take there from Olivia Protopis not to allow an opportunity in on net. But Virginia has looked good, as you see Meredith McDermott down a bit there.
Deep breaths, deep breaths.
There was a collision.
Deep breaths. In and out. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Come on. In and out.
You just see a collision there between Protopis and McDermott. And no malintent from the goalkeeper, but certainly Meredith McDermott in a lot of pain.
While the trainers attend there to McDermott, I want to remind you that Friday's ACC PM with Mark Packer and Taylor Tannenbaum will come to you from Durham, North Carolina, as they prep for college football Saturday, highlighted by NC State and Duke starting at 4 Eastern. That game right here on ACC Network at 8 o'clock. I just hope it's a stinger, Patty, for McDermott.
Thumbs up there from Bill Parente, the longtime Virginia athletic trainer. Has to be a good sign.
You could hear the pop as soon as Protopis ran into McDermott. She'll give it a go. 6 goals on the year. Tied for the team lead.
She really brings something to that attacking unit for Virginia, especially in a game in which you're forced to get the ball wide and get service into the box. 5'10" frame, Meredith McDermott, such a target at that number 9 center forward.
The New Hampshire native, the sophomore, 7 goals in her Virginia career through 2 seasons. We've talked about Virginia needing resume wins, not just to get to the ACC tournament, but Patty, you and I have discussed this on other broadcasts. Just because you don't make the ACC tournament, sometimes 10 teams make the NCAA tournament for the ACC. Virginia's still trying to build that resume as well, an RPI in the 60s. We did see NC State get into the tournament last year with an RPI in the 60s, so the bigger overall picture still in play for Steve Swanson.
That's right. I think if the season ended today, this would be a Virginia team that is in the tournament. But as you see, another effort down that right-hand side. But they're playing a dangerous game, and this would be a result, if it held, that might play them out in the outside of the bubble looking in. So for Steve Swanson and Virginia, some wins needed in a hurry.
No doubt. Oh boy, Cagle has gone down.
What is it? Huh? What is it, huh?
Just battle for the ball in the midfield here. Maggie Cagle with a touch, and then just kind of gets twisted around. A good challenge there from Taylor Chisholm, and Cagle knocking her head on the turf in the end.
Top 5 in the ACC in points for Cagle. Well on her way to conference honors yet again. They are going to sub her out. They've got to check her at least for a concussion protocol and make sure that she's okay. But Steve Swanson's going to hope that his star sophomore can get back into the match. As Maya Carter enters.
But as much as Maya Carter had a good spell in that first half when she was inserted in this attacking unit, That's the star of Virginia making her way behind the bench, and so you hope and you pray if you're Steve Swanson's staff that it's a quick check and she can continue to play here, because Maggie Cagle brings a lot of the spark to this Virginia attack.
10 goals in Cagle's career. 4 goals last season, her rookie campaign. And a Virginia team who needs a win. Haven't won since September 3rd against VCU at home. It has been draws and losses since. Only lost twice on the year. Looking to try and equalize. Pretty good run. Shot. Helium in it. It just kept rising.
Well, it's a really good step there from Anaya Collier. Right at midfield, she just runs at the NC State team and then just snatches with it with that left foot in the end. Not going to test Protopis, but again, a good step and a good takeaway from Anaya Collier to create a chance.
And we're taking a look exactly at the comparisons of what Virginia would need and how to feel about their chances for the NCAA tournament field. After today, you got 4 more chances, right? Even if the ACC picture not there for you to make it to Cary, you still got a shot at the big dance, but Virginia's going to need some results and fast.
And I think the biggest issue for Steve Swanson is see Joseph go at this Virginia back line again.
See if Joseph can figure something out 1v1. Shot deflected. Cavaliers clear it out for a throw.
I was just going to say, I think the biggest issue for Virginia is that to boost that RPI, you have to play quality RPI opponents, and in their last 4 games, only 1 within the top 100 of the RPI are their opponents. So it's going to be really tough for Virginia, especially if they don't get a result today, to boost that 62 RPI and boost that tournament resume.
Look at that sustained success, Patty. I mean, you played there on the men's side of things. The women were dynamite when you were playing as well, as they have been for each of the last 20 seasons. But look at that, Sweet 16s. I mean, it's not just making the NCAA tournament, which, by the way, last season they didn't make a Sweet 16. But this program continues to be holding a candle as a model, right, of consistency for everyone else to follow.
I think that's right, and when you talk about, you know, a model of consistency, you know, Steve Swanson's a guy that not only are his teams performing at a high level, but he's putting players in the pros year in and year out. You talk about players like Emily Sonnet, who was just with the United States national team at the World Cup and playing really well in the center of midfield. And then you look across the board, you note Alexa Spanstra, who's playing at this team last year, finding her first goal in the NWSL yesterday for the Kansas City Current. And so as much as Steve Swanson's teams are quality, he's developing talent and putting players in the professional ranks, and that's what you want to see when you talk about a consistent college program.
You're good, Hannah. Let's get there.
Virginia, one of just 3 programs to have a player taken in every NWSL draft that has taken place. Haley Hopkins, the most recent first-rounder, going to the North Carolina Courage. And Patty, you kept mentioning a bunch of names. If you don't mention Lori Lindsay, I think she's going to get mad at all of us.
Some women's national team greats through Virginia, certainly Lori Lindsay, one of them, Becky Sauerbrunn, another, and on down the list.
Keep your feet.
The past has been phenomenal for Virginia. They're hoping for a bright future here in this match against NC State. Looking for that equalizer. That shot, not a bad one off the crossbar. Follow is saved. Protopis makes the stop of the match there. Virginia, oh, so close to leveling things here in the second half.
Just a sensational hit from distance here from Jill Flamio with the left foot. She's beating Olivia Protopis, dipping, hitting that crossbar, and then the follow-up from Allie Ross, not enough on it, and a strong left hand from Olivia Protopis to maintain that 1-goal lead for NC State.
It's a game of inches, Patty. Oh my goodness, that was right there, a beautiful effort.
Protopis does so well to get back up, get set for that second effort, and ultimately keep that one out.
That'll go for a goal kick. 3 goals in this one so far. NC State, first 2 right out of the gates. Jamise Joseph early on.
NC State jumped on Virginia early on. Jamise Joseph running down that left-hand side, forcing some Margeri to put it in her own net. This was a fantastic strike from Monica Wohner just to finish that one off. And then Virginia coming to life in this second half. A really solid ball into the box from Maggie Cagle, Ali Ross to find that first one for Virginia. And this has been a really entertaining match back and forth all through the first 70 minutes.
Patty, would you say momentum has shifted?
I think momentum has certainly shifted in Virginia's favor since they found their first goal in the second half.
Still looking for that equalizer. Virginia, could this be that moment? Blocked. Still Cavaliers. Oh, barreling in, high cleat to the face. Brianna Weber, number 3 it is, catching a boot from Ali Ross.
And just so many players for NC State in and around the box, making it so difficult for Virginia. This one flipped over the top, and I don't think there's a lot of malintent here from Ali Ross, but nonetheless, the high boot is certainly a dangerous one in on Brianna Weber, and it doesn't look like it makes a ton of contact, or else it would have done a lot more damage.
Did that catch her face or her hand, Patty? I think that's the question. Certainly high. Not sure. Yellow card is given either way.
I'm sort of a little surprised not to see Nicole Green go back to the monitor and take a look at this one, because a dangerous high boot from Ali Ross. Again, I don't think there's any malintent there, but anytime you get a boot to the face, it warrants another look.
Keep your feet. Go Leah! Stop. Up. You gotta keep it.
A yellow card by Ross. Oh, going down in a heap. Lachlan Ryan, I believe, has gone down. Indeed. The senior from Charlotte.
Lachlan Ryan's is such a good story for Virginia's battled so many injuries throughout her career, finally finding some sustained minutes for Steve Swanson. You see the concern from the Virginia head coach, just a non-contact there for Ryan going down. Just a 1-2 play to Ryan there, and then just planning on that left foot. Not a contact injury there, but just down in a heap is Lachlan Ryan, and you wish for the best there for the senior.
So as they tend to hurt, I do want to remind you that our Week 7 ACC Network Saturday college football lineup starts with Virginia Tech hosting Wake Forest at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg at 3:30 Eastern, and then at 8, the day is capped off by our ACCN primetime matchup. Number 19, Duke, hosting Peyton Wilson and NC State in Durham. Izzy Cagle up and about. However, our thoughts right now with Lachlan Ryan. Being told Clemson has taken the lead over Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, 1-0 as halftime approaching.
Caroline Conti there on the score sheet again for Clemson. She has been so fantastic coming out of midfield for the Tigers. Just another potent attack in this conference.
Come on, Mike.
So our thoughts are going out to Lachlan Ryan right now, the senior from Charlotte. You know, Virginia team that is playing this season without Emma Dawson and Leah Godfrey. Dawson, who was a captain last season. Godfrey, who's one of the best players in the game. And then you don't have Eleni Rouse. You just have injuries up and down the pitch. We saw Cagle leave the match today. And now Ryan.
Good take. And we're up.
This ball forward. NC State looking for some breathing space.
Good luck. Find Sally, boys.
That's Jade Bordelot. Freshman from Canada. 24 minutes off the bench against Virginia Tech on Thursday night. A little over 18 minutes for Virginia. Momentum had started to shift too for Virginia. The Cavaliers had really found this one as there's a foul. And now, Patty, if you think about it, you almost have to restart, right? And recalibrate those engines, so to speak.
Well, no doubt. And we talk about the injuries that Virginia's faced on the season, obviously, with Emma Dawson and Leah Godfrey. That's 2 years starting, three center midfielders, as you see a good touch here from Guidry to draw the foul on Hall Robinson. But now you're looking at Lachlan Ryan, who's been really solid coming off the bench in that midfield, and Maggie Cagle, the emotional leader of this offensive unit, currently out with injuries in this game. So who's going to step up and find a way to climb back into this one? A lot of faces that can be looked at here for Virginia.
Towards that back post, Virginia looking for the equalizer. Not going to have it there, no corner. Goal kick. And I put this on paper for you, so to speak, so you can see it. Dawson, Rouse, Godfrey, impact players, right, at every level for Virginia. So Brianna Jablanowski has had some success with Steve Swanson in the attack. She's been lost for the year.
Here we go, White.
No rest for the weary. I can certainly tell you other programs aren't feeling bad for Virginia. They're not going to take it easy on them just because they've had some adversity. A program like the Cavaliers that has punished people for years in this league. They're not done yet. Still plenty of time.
Right, 16 minutes left to play here in Raleigh. Virginia's looked the better team really for the last hour of this game. Now can you see if you can capitalize? Start to throw numbers forward, continue to try to play a little bit more direct, get the ball wide, get it in the box, and see if you can manufacture a goal to make a late stretch down this game, because again, this is a game Virginia needs, and one that NC State has looked very good tactically and frustrated the Hoos for long portions of.
Thank you. Amy, keep it wide. Come on, White, let's go. Taylor, left shoulder.
Under 15 now to play. Yapic.
Midfield up.
Gidry.
Midfield up. Keep it one leg.
After this one, Virginia's got 3 straight home games in Charlottesville. Have that rivalry against Virginia Tech next weekend. Then Miami and Boston College. So opportunity for points on the way for UVA, but they need a result today. NC State trying to slam the door shut if they can.
You got to go if you're Virginia. You got to push the tempo, especially when NC State finally comes out of their shell, getting into your own half. If you're Chloe Yapic, you got to push the tempo. See if you can get the ball down the field in a hurry before NC State gets set in those 2 blocks of 4.
Oh, looking for the through ball, trying to slip it in. Toppis smartly plays with it with her feet. Now we'll try and kill some time. Hit it straight out of bounds. Excuse me, to Virginia's back line. Who's far right side now. Gidry, soft touch, surveys. Onto the flank. Yapic playing a little bit higher.
Let's go, shot! Back off!
Service, ball down! Off the top of the crossbar again, it skimmed the bar! Foul called, crunching tackle. Clock stops. Might have a booking.
12 minutes! Hey, White, kick it out!
Indeed. Second yellow coming in this one for Virginia.
And again, this is the chance earlier, getting the ball wide to Chloe Yapic, and the ball comes across. That crossbar is Olivia Pertopis' best friend here in this second half, because this is a solid header there from Maya Carter, just bounces onto the bar and keeps this game at 2-1. But if you're Virginia, your chances are coming from getting the ball in wide areas. You have to feed Chloe Yapic and let her put balls across the box like this, because when she does, good things have happened.
I got you. We got 12 minutes for a new
The tackle there. That second yellow card of the game for Virginia. It's pretty astonishing, because coming into this match, Virginia had only been into the book 3 times all season.
And I think that might be by virtue of going down against a 1-win team on the road in a game that you have to win. Perhaps a little frustration, a little extra zest from this Virginia team here in the second half.
NC State started this game in the first 20 minutes with 4 shots to Virginia's 1. Since then, the tables have been completely turned. 15-2 in favor of Virginia. 16-6 overall on this afternoon.
Taylor, read it. Go. Free, stay tight. Keep your feet. Watch top. See this flag.
Gidry.
Keep your feet.
Yapic. Virginia has been dangerous on these crosses. There's another one. Penalty spot. Couple of headers deflected. And the whistle.
That's the right decision from Nicole Green. That's how the law is written. If there's a head injury, it's an immediate stoppage regardless of where the ball's at. But won't feel good for Virginia as they were pressing and trying to find a second chance on that opportunity. And again, it's Yapich into the box there, Maya Carter with the header that comes off of Fernanda Soto's head. But yet again, if you're Virginia, just feed the ball to Yapich and let her start to put these crosses into the box, because that seemingly is the way that you're going to be able to break down a very low block from NC State.
He can step when he drops.
The freshman Mackenzie Smith coming on for the fellow freshman Fernanda Soto. Smith from Leicester, England. Played 33 minutes on Thursday against Virginia Tech. Goal kick. Good defending from Hall Robinson. Under 11 to play. Oh, there's a number of you standing by to see North Carolina and Duke. It's going to start on the app as we finish this game here in Raleigh. Message from Jen Hildreth, wondering why we've gypped her, so to speak, as they're going to join in progress. Not our fault. 10 more minutes. Tim Santoro, you can feel that pressure building. NC State really needs a victory here this afternoon. Both teams looking for their first conference win of the year. The Cavaliers have anything left. Yapich cut off Hall Robinson. NC State team that goes on the road to play Miami this week. A couple of home games against Cuse and Notre Dame. Looking for that icing on the cake. That ball not going to get it done. It's intended for Joseph.
But again, it's just too slow from Virginia. And now's the time that you got to get into the attack, put the ball forward, and get at NC State before they get set.
Start talking about points and what's left. Virginia Tech, Miami for Virginia, then Boston College all at home. Opportunities there to close the gap and get into that top 6. But you need a goal here. Service cleared out. Still Virginia. Carter. Cross to the 6.
Good free. Free, that's good.
Malu knocks it out.
Guys, if it's in front of the goal, step hard. Defend one. And win the ball and keep the ball.
Here's Ella Carter.
Come on, White, let's go. Come on. Last 8. Come on.
Cormac out. Under 8. Guidry. See Ross also in for Bruner. To that back post, pretty good ball. It's Carter again.
And again, it's a ball into the box there from Chloe Yapich, this time cutting back on her right foot and looking for Maya Carter, just breaking away to that back post. A really good ball from Yapich, and Carter just can't quite head it back across frame. But Virginia, when they've been dangerous in this game, has been through that, getting the ball wide, getting into the box, and looking for that header on frame.
Keep your feet! Rose, right!
Cavaliers have 2 straight draws.
One step!
A goal here might put them in position for a third. Depending on how fast that happens, they can start dreaming about potentially stealing one on the road in Raleigh. If you're NC State, moments away from capturing a signature victory on the season on your home turf. Pass cut off. NC State looking to play direct. Leah Hall-Robinson has been everywhere.
And this is really good from NC State, finally to put their foot on the ball and kill some time here, catch their breath, having to defend for long periods here. Finally starting to find some of the ball here.
Clipped on the back heel, foul called. That Jabril going down, it is. Tension building now for Virginia. Just over 5 to play. Mackenzie Smith. Restart.
Check shoulder tap. No foul.
Joseph to the corner flag. Throw in. Clock does stop for Virginia. NC State team that is looking for its first victory over Virginia since 2009. That coming on this pitch. 2-1 win that night.
No way! She kicked it off the ball. Let's go away! Quickly on! We don't stop! Please watch the time. You have to bounce it to her.
Last season's edition of this game ended in a 4-0 victory for Virginia. That one being played in Charlottesville. So a lot on the line. Goal kick coming. A little bit over 4 minutes now. McDermott, right flank, crosses it in, headed out. Right back in, Pritapis on it. She's gonna be in no hurry.
A strong play there from Olivia Pritapis to come out, not only meet that ball, but to hold it and able to clear their lines are NC State.
Joseph with the header. It was her goal that opened things up for the Pack. Tim Santoro said it. We've been playing better at times. We've had good stretches of soccer. It just hasn't come all together. This would be a big feather in the cap. That ball in, a header just to the left. We almost had an equalizer.
And yet again, Chloe Yapich with fantastic service into the box. It's the freshman Ella Carter going, attacking that ball, doing everything right to put it across the frame, but just can't find that far post of Olivia Protapis.
Oh, that didn't miss by much. And again, the service from Virginia has been outstanding this afternoon. Again.
Hey, two runners. Hold in.
Cavaliers going to play direct. Guidry. Yeah, pitch Guidry again. Active on this left side. Stouty.
Keep your feet. You're that way.
And this might be the chance. Virginia fires it away, blocked by that NC State defense. Oh, Jamise Joseph getting all the way back. From her forward spot, she just knocks it away. Pressure relieved. Carolina Duke coming up in just under 90 seconds. .115 to go. Under a minute now, NC State can start to feel it coming on.
And you got to give a lot of credit to Tim Santoro and this NC State team, a team with one win on the year, hasn't found a win in the conference yet, came into this game, just absolutely jumped on Virginia early, found 2 goals in the opening 12 minutes of this match, and then was tactically sound, took wave after wave of that Virginia attacking presence and did not break, gave up the one and did not allow Virginia to find an equalizer through this final 78 minutes of this match, and they're about to be rewarded with a big 3 points in the conference.
30 seconds to go. Could this be the final ball?
Keep your feet.
Still Virginia. This shot not going to get it done. Cleared away. 20 seconds. Throw in now coming. I want to thank producer Josh Monk, director Justin Stoll, all of our cameras here at Dale Soccer Stadium. Talent Stats Dan Ferran. Virginia, last gasp. NC State is going to get the victory. First home win of the season, first conference win of the season. And the Pack hold on for a big-time victory in Raleigh over Virginia.